First guest speaker is Lucy Taretto. Lucy is an experienced sales and marketing representative with 24 years of service with Bloom Canada. She is passionate about education on Bloom's innovative products and solutions, and with her expertise as a certified aging-in-place specialist and certified living-in-place professional, she focuses on products and designs that make every living space more inclusive and user-friendly for all ages. She has many published articles, and you can check out her latest on aging and living in place in the most recent publication of Wood Industry Magazine. Today, Lucy will explore with us universal design principles in cabinetry to ensure safe living for all ages and discover insights from the AgeExplorer suite, simulating physical limitations related to aging. On the personal side, Lucy loves traveling, running, hummingbirds, sharks, but most of all, her adorable Yorkie named Maximus. Please join me in welcoming Lucy Taretto to the stage.
You didn't miss a thing.
No.
And I'm so happy you mentioned my dog because he is my buddy.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow, what a group. Unbelievable. Thank you so much, Decor, first off, for inviting me. It's an honor to be here. We've been partners for many years. I've been with Bloom for 24 years, so it's that long and even longer. Hopefully you leave here today learning something. And Ron and I, we're going to be here for the next couple days. So if you have any questions, just reach out to us and we're more than happy to answer those for you. So I'm not going to take too much time here. Ron is in the back. If you have any technical questions, ask him. He's been with the company 11 years. So we have a lot of experience between us. Next slide, please. So our goal here today is just to talk about the aging population. This is a huge population. It's the largest one age group ever in history is the baby boomers. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look through, going to take a journey through the decades. We're going to talk about how to improve functionality in the home. And really what we want to do is inspire you to think a little bit outside of the box when it comes to sharing knowledge with our AgeExplorer suite. So some of you have already experienced the AgeExplorer suite, and the reason being is because we've been researching with it now for 18 years, which is amazing to me because Bloom is a very forward-thinking company, and already 18 years ago, we realized that we were going to be in this huge baby boomer population. So we've been able to do a lot of research with it. We've been able to develop products that really assist with this segment of the marketplace, but we encompass all age groups. Next slide, please. So our goal is to support development and research in order to offer hardware solutions for all kitchen users. So it's not just about the aging population or people that have limitations. What we want to talk about is a universal design that really applies to people of any age group, any ability. We're going to talk about some kitchen chores, visibility, ergonomics, and easy opening. So now, just a couple of icebreaker questions. According to you, how many people are part of the baby boomer generation, which, by the way, are born between 1946 and 1965? Just shout out the answer. There's no prize or anything. I was going to say there's no right or wrong answer, but yes, there is. Such a smart group. 8.2 million. So this shows you that there is a huge population that we're looking at here. These are probably people that are going to be walking into your place of business. Their needs are quite different. So we really need to understand this demographic. So baby boomers currently make up what percentage of the Canadian economy? Any ideas? Hint, it's a tricky one. 29. Typically, people think it's 35 because the other one was higher, but 29%. What does this mean? This means that people have, in this age bracket, people have the most disposable income. These are the people that are really saving the economy right now. They're buying cars, they're going on vacations, they're doing home renovations. So we really need to understand what their needs are. Talking about some of the statistics, so the population of in 2019 was almost 35 million people. We rank 38th in the world, and we're the largest North American country by landmass. Not going to go through all of this. This is really just to show you the groups, the generations, the years that they were born, and so what we're kind of up against. So the great part is that dealing with the baby boomers, I don't know if any of you have like older parents or whatever. So when we can educate two generations at once, which is great because you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. Because, I mean, if I was lucky enough to have my parents back, I would have done anything to change their home, to make it more livable for them, to make it more functional and ergonomically friendly. So by targeting the baby boomer, we're also going to be targeting the next generation down. Again, not to get into too much, but you can see here that the baby boomer generation is huge. So there's every day people are becoming seniors. They make up 23% of Canadians. People aged 80 plus, they're expected to more than double. So a lot of just interesting information. And I always encourage people, if any of this information is relevant or can be helpful to you, I'm all about sharing. So if you want the slide deck, I hope it's okay. I didn't ask Decor if I could do that, but there's tons of information in the presentation that I can't share because of time restriction, but I'm more than happy to share all of that. And a lot of the information applies to CAPS and CLIP certifications. So we'll just go ahead. So we know that baby boomers, they want to stay in their homes. Even more so since the pandemic, people do not want to go to extended health care facilities. So over the next 20 years, the Canadian senior population is going to grow by 68%. So that means a lot of things. That means that they need to have things done to their home in order for them to stay in their homes. And that doesn't really necessarily mean that it's a whole, tear down. There's certain things that can be done. So 77% of boomers own a home, 19% rent, 1% live with family. Again, lots of interesting information here. The main principle here is that they want to stay in their homes. So what can we do to allow them to do that? The other thing that I learned when I did my Certified Living in Place professional course, CLIP, was that I always thought that my home was just for me, but they put it very simply and said, okay, so your house is your house. It's suitable for you. An average family is going to live in let's just say they live 10 years in a home. So if it's only those specific people living in that home, it's 26 individuals that will enter that home in 100 years. Well, that's not really feasible because we always have visitors come to our home, in and out. We have events, we have parties. That is a lot of people coming into our home. And this really, it was like a 2x4 to me many years ago, when I had my big 40th birthday. We had about 110 people come to our home. It was in the summertime. It was outside, by the pool and whatever. And a few days before my party, it was like, oh my God, I was having like a panic attack because one of my best friends is married to a gentleman in a wheelchair. And I thought, oh my God, how's Mark going to get in the house? How's he going to go to the washroom? What's Mark going to do? Is he going to need to ask somebody help to bring him to the washroom? His wheelchair is not going to fit inside the house because the doorway's not wide enough. What to do, because you want to be inclusive with everybody, but it's like one person out of 110 people, we kind of, well, at least I forgot about him. Anyway, we kind of figured out a way to bring a zero clearance porta potty there for him, and everything was fine. But that to me was really like, oh my gosh, like our houses should be ready and for anybody to come in them. So why can't houses be built with wider doorways? Because it's not just somebody in a wheelchair or a walker, but if I'm carrying my laundry basket on my hip, I can't fit through the door either. Or if I have a baby on my hip, I can't fit through the door. I'm scraping my knuckles. And so it's just, that's what universal design really is just really common sense things that, sometimes we don't use common sense. So that for me was like such a simple thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, yes, our homes are not just for us. It's for every single person. Like my home, my mother used to come over. She used to have challenges with her walker. So it really is just kind of, broadening your imagination to sort of think of those simple things that really can change the quality of living for someone and make them feel comfortable in your home. So approximately 90% of people want to stay in their homes. Why? As we get older, we get very comfortable with our homes, where things are. We want to stay close to our family and friends. We know where our grocery store is. We have our doctor close by. We kind of, get a little, I was going to say crotchety. I hope you don't mind, but that's the way, because I'm starting to get that way too. I'm very routine and I like certain things, and I totally understand my mom now so much. Only 1% of homes are designed according to the principles of universal design. This is very sad to me. This, when I think of this, and it's so true, at least in Toronto, like the facilities that really need to have, senior living or 55 plus, like the kitchens in those places, they just should put them in the trash, because they really don't improve any type of, it doesn't improve their life at all. They're all doors and base cabinets. They're all like upper cabinets they can't reach. So this to me is very sad. But then I try to be an optimistic person and think, oh, we've got a lot of room to grow, to make things better. So don't look at it as a negative, but think of it as every little thing that we do is going to increase this number. So if I present again, maybe in 5 years, maybe we'll be 50%. I don't know. But you guys are the ones that can make the difference. We can only talk about what needs to be done to make a difference. But you guys are you're going to be the change. Everybody sitting in this room. So I'm counting on you to do that, because it really means a lot to me, just because of my personal experiences that I've had with my mom. I use this example just kind of because for me it was important to understand in Toronto, to live in an extended healthcare facility, we could go up to like $20,000 a month. But as an average, like a subsidized would be $5,000 to $10,000 a month that people are paying to live in these extended healthcare facilities. And they're not nice, let me tell you. They're not nice looking. They're not really clean. The food is not great. And sometimes it doesn't even include food. So if we look at this, that's about $60,000 to $120,000 a year. Where does that money go? It's like just gone down the drain. You guys are the experts. How much would a bathroom remodel be? And I say bathroom because bathroom is the place where a lot of injuries can happen. People can fall, slip. You need zero clearance showers and entry tubs and grab bars and things like that. How much, I don't know, yell out a number to me. How much could a full bathroom renovation cost? 30 to 50. But even like, I think you're just messing with me, but still, it depends if it's like luxury or if it's just like a basic, it depends on the level of the people that are living in the home and what their needs are. Sometimes it's just grab bars. Sometimes it's a zero clearance shower and grab bars, things like that. But I guess my point here is that the money that you're spending if somebody can actually stay in their home and we can do things to do that, that's a win-win, because that's where they want to be. And I think the children of those people, that's where they want them to be too, if they're able to care for themselves. So we're also dealing with this. We're also dealing with multi-generational homes. More so, I think we always did, but it's more so now because of the economy, because of COVID. There's sometimes 3 generations living in one home. So what does that mean? We need to think of products that are going to be suitable for people that are older, because they're the ones that we need to take care of the most, or people that have limitations. And I just put this image. This is a space step, so a toe kit drawer, which is safe, which is great for grandma who's on the space step so she can reach higher up. But we also know that grandma is probably frugal and doesn't really want to spend a lot of money. So how do we convince her to put that step in to keep her safe? We use the granddaughter and we say, Grandma, do you have any grandchildren? Can you go back? Sorry. Do you have any grandchildren that you like to bake with, that you like to cook with, that, wouldn't it be great if you put that step in so that she could or he could step up and hop on the countertop and you could kind of bake or cook together, or put it in the bathroom so that they can reach to wash their face, brush their teeth. And so those are the stories that we tell to convince grandma to put these safe things in the kitchen. But that step is going to work for the parents of the child as well, because people short like myself, we need that step just as much as grandma, because I would probably fall too. So that's what I mean about products. When we talk about universal design, is products that really work for people of all ages, not specifically for the aging population. So what people think inclusive design means is that it's for old people or it's too sterile looking. We focus on the principle of universal design because it really is going to be useful for everyone, not just seniors, but children, people with disabilities, pregnant women. Pregnant women can't bend and reach either. Disabilities, pregnant women, and everybody in between. It also means that the design can be beautiful and functional at the same time. We don't have to give up aesthetics for functionality and vice versa. So that's very important. So kitchens last an average of 20 years. A given is that aging happens. We're aging at this very moment. But let's not just think about aging. Anything can happen. I could be playing a sport. I could, tear my meniscus. I could have a tennis elbow, frozen shoulder. Anything can happen. We can be mobile today, pull our back out tomorrow. So if we have functionality in the home from day one, then those drawers and base cabinets, that's really going to improve our quality of living, whether we're healthy, whether we have an injury, whether we're aging. So, unfortunately, lots of things happen as we age, and it's not pleasant. So, every single part of our body is affected, whether it's your eyes, your ears, your smell, your nose, your taste, your touch. Everything is affected. And as the decades, starting in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it kind of expedites. So, if we look at our site, 33% of people over age 65 report that they're not able to read and see well enough, and it prevents them from doing things. Could be driving, it could be reading, it could be simple tasks. More than 30% of people over 65 have significant hearing impairment. 2/3 of our taste sensations depend on smell. So basically, we lose our taste buds and then we lose our sense of smell, which means that food no longer tastes really great. And so what do people do? They add sugars, they add salts, and then what happens is then health issues start to happen because you're adding sodium to your diet. My mom is a great example. She would just, I didn't understand it, but I'm going to tell this story. if I'm like 1 minute over, because I think it's funny because my mom, she was an immigrant. She came from Italy. Till the day she died, she still made her homemade bread, homemade pasta, homemade like everything. And I would, go for lunch or dinner at least twice a week. And she would make me like whatever, gnocchi, ravioli, whatever. Don't be jealous. But it was amazing. Like she would just make this like 4-course meal and everything. And she would eat with me. And then, the Italians, what we do is we have our salad at the end, which is apparently a no-no, but we have this big bowl of salad. And my mom was just like, she put the olive oil and stuff and then salt. And I would take a bite out of the salad and I could feel the crunch of the salt. And it's like, Mom, but then she would put more on because she couldn't taste it. So I would get so angry with her because it's like, Mom, there's like too much sodium. But anyway, so then when I would show up to her place unexpectedly, she didn't know I was coming over. I'd catch her eating a Mr. Noodles. So, Mr. Noodles and the styrofoam. Well, they're full of sodium and MSG and all kinds of things. And I would get so mad at her because she's like, but I like it so much. And then I realized when I started to really, be less angry and try to understand her mentality was that it was just the salt. And she could just pop the kettle, pour it into the styrofoam bowl, have a fork and a spoon, because that's what we do. We, twirl the spaghetti, whatever. And then she would eat it. She didn't have to dirty a pot. She didn't have to, wash anything because, her house was so cluttered because she couldn't, get on her hands and knees and reach things. So she would have the one pot on the stove. She would have her place setting at the table, flat plate bowl, knife, fork, spoon, napkin, always ready. She would just never put anything away. She would just wash it, put it back on the table so she didn't have to overexert herself, or stand on a chair to get a plate from the upper cabinet. So it's all these little things that you start to realize that they're not trying to be difficult. They didn't sign up for this. This is just the reality. So it's good. Knowledge is power. And when I started understanding her challenges, then, you can kind of deal with those, put no sodium salt in the salt. That's a trick. She didn't know I did that. Anyway. So, on top of that, our joints they stiffen up. So I don't know about you, but in the mornings, I'm like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, and two cups of coffee. I say 2 cups of coffee, and then my joints are good, but they get pretty stiff, which means that we don't have the same range of motion. We can't reach as high up, things like that. Muscles. So we start losing muscle mass already in our 40s. We start losing 1% of our muscle mass starting in our 40s, and in our 50s, it starts to accelerate. So very important to just stay active because when we don't have that muscle strength, that's the decline of any physical activity. So what's the difference between aging and living and aging in place and universal design? Aging in place is used for homeowners who require home modifications to allow them to remain in the home safely and comfortably as they age. 2 very distinct things. Universal design is just an approach to design which ensures the environment can be used by virtually everyone, regardless of their level of ability. So thinking very basic, we'll just go to the next slide. I think there's some images that we can show. So thinking about layouts, cabinets, organization, and room elements. Layouts is important. We started talking about layouts and our concept of dynamic space. Well, Decor, because we've talked about it with you for 20 plus years. And this is a studies that we did. We spent 10 years researching with end users and so on and so forth. But to make a long story short, we determined, because of the experts that we talked to, people that worked in kitchens and homes 7 days a week, that in every single kitchen, no matter where you are in the world, we have at least 5 zones. These are consumables, non-consumables, cleaning, prep, and cooking. Now, 20 years later, We have coffee stations, we have wine stations, we have computer stations, we have pet stations, we have all kinds of stations. But the foundation of a kitchen should be these 5 different areas. Now, looking at, you guys are the experts of kitchen layouts. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but these are just graphics to show you where those zones are placed. Zones are important because you need to have everything in the area that you use them. In a prep area, you need your oils, vinegars, spices, cutting boards, knives, mixing bowls, so on and so forth. So really, when we're designing cabinetry, it's really custom when you know exactly the storage goods that is in every single home. Then you can create the cabinetry around those storage goods. It's difficult to fit everything or have everything go in the right spot if you don't know exactly how much storage goods that each individual home has. Some people have small kids. Some people are single family. They have different needs. Drawers. I'm sure all of you know this, but this is probably the simplest thing we could do to improve quality of living in a home, is to incorporate as many drawers as possible in the layout. Because when you have full extension drawers below the counter surface, you can even start to, do we really need, decor, but cabinets all the way that go up to the ceiling? Because you can't reach them anyway. So put the money that you're saving there, invest it into lift systems perhaps, or full extension drawers with organization in them. This is just, again, a graphic that shows you doors and base cabinets, how you strain your body. So the red obviously is strain because you're bending and reaching, partial extension. But looking at full extensions, this obviously is a no-brainer. We know that's the way to go. You have very little effort that you put on your body. Again, just an example. I think graphics, speak louder than words. Bending and reaching in a base cabinet with doors and shelves versus full extension drawers. We also, when you have drawers, you can go very, very wide, which is actually, you're using less hardware. So rather than have small drawer, small drawer, small drawer, having wide drawers allows you to fit things like your pots and pans in a nice big utensil drawer. Also in a pantry, having those wide inner pullouts. It allows you to fit more storage goods in those drawers. Again, and placement of the storage goods, really in this area of access, the bottom of the upper, the top of the lower, things that you use frequently, just put them in that area so you're not having to strain yourself. Organization. These drawers are exactly the same. One drawer, no organization. Simple, ambuline organization. Beautiful. Win-win. You can actually find what you're looking for. The other thing is that when we age, we also, because our eyesight changes too, we can't see as well. So this drawer is going to be so chaotic for somebody that has any type of limitation with eyesight as well. And just who doesn't like that? And it's time saving, and it's just such a nice looking drawer. Just more organization. So possibilities are endless for any type of storage good you have. Plates is important. You probably already do this, but plates do not belong in upper cabinets. They never did. Back in the day, we had hutches. Plates were always in base cabinets. The reason why we really stress this is because as people age, we don't have the same range of motion. We lose muscle mass. We don't have the strength. We don't want people hopping on the chairs. Yes, if you have a space step, but even still, putting the glasses and cups and things in the uppers makes more sense than putting heavy plates. And then with the plate holder, they have handles. You can actually flip them on the side. They're not going to fall over. They have rubber feet at the bottom, so they're very secure inside the drawer. And even a child can help set the table now because it's very easy to do. Wall cabinets, lifts go up and out of the way. Doors are obstructions, so really thinking about the lifts, it makes the room, it makes the cabinets, the inside of the cabinets brighter. And because they go up and out of the way, there's no room for anybody to hit their head. So, I mean, I'm very forgetful. Get bent down, dishwasher, boom, go up, bang my head. It's happened several times. But lift systems, that will never happen. Again, just a comparison. Lifts and doors, handles. Not my expertise, but through my certifications, I understand knobs are not practical because people that have dexterity issues, thinking about handles that you can actually fit a few fingers in, because people that have, low ability to pull, we want them to be able to slip their fingers in. And in some provinces, actually, not in kitchen, not decorative hardware, but knobs are banned because people, they can't actually get out of their homes sometimes with the knobs. So knobs are very difficult, thinking about just a little bit of room in the handle to get a few fingers or even a cane or something in them. Appliance garages, this just keeps things nicely tucked away. The pull-out shelf lock at the bottom, that just, it actually is just a Movento runner. It locks into place so people don't have to lift the heavy appliance and then lift the lever. It pops back in and then that lift system goes down. And then this is our AgeExplorer. So really think about furniture. It should really always be comfortable for people of all ages, not just people that have any physical limitation. So this is just the suit. We're going to see it tomorrow, but you can just kind of quickly go through these. There's bindings, there's weights that go on the suit, there's special glasses, there's a visor that does a couple things, special gloves, there's the headphones. What we do with the suit, and like I physically brought the suit here, so we'll see it tomorrow. But this is what we do with it. And when you put the suit on, it ages your body 20 or 25 years older than what you are. And it allows you to experience all of those limitations: loss of muscle mass, joint restriction, arthritis, hearing impairment, sight impairment, loss of peripheral vision. So many great things. So this is what we have people do. And really, it seems funny, but within like 5 or 10 minutes, they will never, ever go back to purchasing a cabinet that has a door and a shelf below the counter surface. Just like that, by putting the suit on, because it really is, it's difficult. You really do experience just the like high exertion. Like it's like 20 times, like I would say, no, not 20, probably 100 times worse than how you would feel without the suit on, because you've got the weights and you've got all the restrictions. So that's what we do. So then we do comparisons. So that's what we'll do tomorrow. We're going to show, okay, try to access that out of the base cabinet with the door, and then do it with a full extension drawer. And within like 5-10 minutes, they clue in and say, yeah, this is the way we want to go. So just, okay, you can quickly, and then just convincing people, like even sharp objects. So we've got the knife holder there in the previous slide, is having them, the sharp objects, like in a knife holder of some sorts, because as people age, or even children, we don't want them to cut their hands with sharp knives. Having a landing, so having that pull-out shelf lock is great in certain areas, so that if things get heavy, you can actually place them, but then they're multifunctional, because that could be in a kitchen, it could be a cutting board, it could be, I don't know, some people I know, they use it as an ironing board or a folding station, so on and so forth. Again, we talked about the lifts that go up and out of the way. This is what we do, the comparison, the space step, having everything organized so you can find it easily. And again, just really the space step in looking at all different age groups. It really is a win-win-win, no matter what age, what ability you are. And that is with all of our products. I couldn't show like every single product, but that's what we're really proud of, is that when we bring out a product solution, it's going to be great for people no matter what age or physical ability they are. Yeah, and I just leave you with, I'm not going to read all these, but, have a look at them and really ask yourself these questions. It's, like I said, it's common sense, but sometimes I think we try to make things too complicated. And so these are just a few questions that I always ask myself, and it really allows me to stay focused on the individual and what their needs really are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lucy. We did have one question come in from the audience, so you're not off the hook yet.
All right.
Beside using drawers, what is another practical design tip that we can use to help with universal design to get a good bang for the buck in design, besides using drawers?
Well, the lift systems, I think. So I truly believe that, I know they look beautiful, and again, sorry, Decor, but having cabinets all the way to the ceiling, yes, it looks beautiful, but in my opinion, it doesn't make sense. I would much rather, I'm not saying don't put any uppers, but why put them up to the ceiling? The money that you can save in those uppers, you can actually put it into the functionality of the drawers and the base cabinets. Having interior organization is huge. It's such a simple thing, but when you can, even your pots and pans, if you can just have like a lid separation, put the lids at the back or the front of the drawer so that when you access a pot, you're just accessing the pot and not having to remove and things like that. So having interior organization, having lift systems, and really the beautiful part is that you don't just have one drawer possibility. You have different levels of drawers. Like, they don't have to buy the highest end Lego box as an example. You could go to, a middle of the line drawer. It has the same functionality. It might not look exactly the same, but the warranty's the same. Everything is going to work the same. So that's the beautiful part, and why I'm proud of Bloom too, and Decor, because you're not just, it has to be like this level of high-end Lego box drawer. You can, if you want, you can do a melamine box, you can do a Maribo box, you can do tandem box, you can do Lego box. So there's different ways of saving money depending on what the possibilities are for that household.
Great.
What
Thank
their
you.
financial situation is.
Awesome.
Yeah. Doesn't
Thank
have
you.
to cost more. We just have to be smart where the money goes. Is it one question?
Oh, can we make the space step a standard at Decor? We'll talk about that. Great. Thank you, Lucy. And thank you.